hi everyone, today we're going to look at cha-cha-cha and some of the shines that we do in cha-cha-cha. So before we start, there's two ways in which you can do the cha-cha-cha step. You can do it on the 1 or on the 2. I simply prefer the 1, but it's okay to do it on the 2 too. The 2-2, that sounds right. So let me just look at the steps first, before we look at the styling or anything else. So the step in itself, so the count is, if I just put some music on a sec. So. Count I prefer when we're stepping. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Okay, so let's look at how we step with that. First of all, we're going to start on our right leg and we're going to step backwards into the step. So just looking at the steps itself without the style. So we're going to step back. So 1, 2, step forward, cha-cha-cha. So if I do that again, if I show you from the side, so I'm going to step back, so 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. And what you'll notice is I'm stepping back on my right, staying on the spot, and stepping forward, cha-cha-cha. Now I'm not walking this step, so I'm not going 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. So what we're going to do is do the cha-cha-cha on the spot. So once again, so it's 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Then with your weight onto your right, you're going to step forward on your left. 1, step back on the spot. 2, step back, cha-cha-cha. And again, your cha-cha-cha's on the spot. So showing that again when we go forward. So 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. And then we go back to again. 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. So that's how we're looking at the step again. So it's 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Forward, back, cha-cha-cha, back, forward, cha-cha-cha, forward, back, and cha-cha-cha. And as you can see in my line here, there are different styles of which we'll look at. We'll look at the Cuban style and we'll look at the ballroomy type style in that sense. Me, I prefer the more leaning towards the ballroom because the Cuban style for us is just like salsa but with the cha-cha step, and it's just adding something a bit different to the actual movement and flow. So, showing you that again, so it's back, and you can see my foot is behind here. It's not back here to the side, so it's not in line there. So it comes behind, 1, 2, and then it comes in front. You see that? So not here to the side, it's front. So we're not stepping 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, forward and back like this. So you're actually bringing your hip around, 1, 2, bringing your hip forward, and cha-cha-cha. And in that cha-cha-cha, you're just dropping your weight from one side to the next. Cha-cha-cha, into the step. And then going forward, dropping your weight in, 1, dropping your weight down, 2, and then again, cha-cha-cha, in that step. So 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. Now of course your arms naturally move with your hips, so they counterbalance. So just let them go, so just relax them and just let your shoulders follow the natural flow of your body, and what it does, it counterbalances. You see that? So whereas my right foot forward, it's my left arm that's forward, so left shoulder. And so we have that counterbalance here. Otherwise it looks a bit like that. Cha-cha-cha and 1, 2 and cha-cha-cha. So let's just do that to a bit of music. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 2, I'll do it from the side, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and from the back, 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Okay. So the couple of styles. So you have basically the Cuban style, which is the original style of cha-cha-cha, and that's taken more sort of like the lazier, the sort of like more relaxed step, as we do in salsa. So when we're doing our salsa step, you can do that with cha-cha. 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. So they have more of the rolling going on into the step. and less stepping in the sense of movement. But more towards the ballroom, we don't strictly do the ballroom style, but we get a bit closer to it. We just have a little bit more grace, a bit more open in the arms, a bit more flow. So to exaggerate that, so I'm going to go and 1, 2 and cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2 and cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2 and cha-cha-cha. Now the only reason I prefer to do it that way is because it's different. It's just doing it different than what we normally dance. So we just add a little bit more finesse to it, basically, that's what I'm saying. So in that sense, and to get that style, what you're going to do is you're going to pick up those shoulders and roll them. 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. And then this part here, so you're not actually moving your hips, what you're basically doing is you're just placing your weight down. So when you have that flow, you have that counterbalance, so it's cha-cha-cha. And although it looks like a bounce, it's not a bounce, okay? What that really is just you're stepping into your weight. Cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. Whichever you prefer, you know, you do whatever you prefer in terms of that step. But again, it's just that style, the two different ways in which you can actually do the styling. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get on with the first shine. The first shine is going to be just the basic for the second, for the minute. So if I put that onto the music. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha. Roll those arms, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and 1. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is the right turn. So the turns in the cha-cha-chas, we have more of a out and back in the turn. So when we flow out, back into the turns, as opposed to spinning around. Doesn't mean to say we don't spin around, because of course we can. But just in the cha-cha, again, it's just using it a different way, a different style. So, let's just look at that. So on the right turn, in fact, I'll do it from here. So if I'm going back onto the basic, I'm going to step 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out and back and cha-cha-cha and 1. So you see what I'm doing there is I'm coming on a spin just at the very last point. So if I do it from the side, it's back to cha-cha-cha. So I step out into the step, come back to, so I'm going back to where I started from, around and cha-cha-cha, and then back again. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. So let's just look at that again. So back to cha-cha-cha, out, turn, cha-cha-cha, and back to and cha-cha-cha. And again, you get that bit of a flick, and also you can use your spotting with regards to that. 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, out, turn, cha-cha-cha, and back to and cha-cha-cha. Does that make sense? So let's just try that with some music. If the battery doesn't run out. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. So we basic first. So right turn, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, back, 2, cha-cha-cha. And again, so we're going to go 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and back, 2, cha-cha-cha, 2, cha-cha. So we just do it in this direction. 1, 2, cha-cha. So return, 1, 2, cha-cha, back, 2, cha-cha, 2, cha-cha-cha. Now for our next step. So now we're going to do the left turn. So left turn again is out and back, but doing this we don't have to do a bit of a spin this time. So if I shoot it from the side, so if I'm doing a basic 2 and cha-cha-cha, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out that way, 1, 2, I'm going to come to the side, cha-cha-cha, then I'm going to step out this side, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. And what you'll notice there is when I'm stepping out, let me do it from this side first. So when I'm stepping out doing the left, I'm going 1, 2. Now rather than cha-cha-cha with my legs open in that step, what we'll do is we'll drive from this left foot. So when you step 1, 2, bring your foot here and then drive cha-cha-cha into that step. And then we'll step out, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. So that gives us our left turn. So once again, with regards to that, so we step 1, 2, drive it, cha-cha-cha, and then step out that way, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. And you can see I'm reaching, so I'm reaching out, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, I'm reaching, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. And once again, it just gives it that little bit of style added with the step. Now, you can use your arms with regards to that, so out, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, but I leave that more for the girls. So let's just try that to music. I'll do it from the front first. 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha. So I'll do left turn, so 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha. So I'll do it from this side. Left turn again. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and out, 2, cha-cha-cha. Then I'll do it from the back. 1, 2. So a left turn. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha, and 1. So now we're going to look at the next step. This is called right turn, left turn, or the walk around. So this is quite a nice step to do actually with your partner when you're dancing with each other, because you're facing away from each other every time you turn. But just looking at the way you do it, it's a shine. So if I step back, 1, 2, cha-cha, I'm going to go right first. 1, 2, cha-cha, step out and do left. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. So again, if I do it from the side, so I'm going to go back. 1, 2, cha-cha. I'm going to turn right first. 1, 2, cha-cha, then turn left. 2, and cha-cha-cha. And if you can imagine your partner, she's doing the same. So when you're turning, you have your back to her here. She's coming towards you, and as you turn back to her, she turns her back to you. And then she comes back around again into that step. And so we call that the walk around. So the difference of the right turn here, so when you're turning right, what we're doing, we're not going all the way around. So we're not coming all the way around to here and going back. So in essence, what we're doing is we're stepping out, 1, 2, and then we're just going back that way, and then stepping back, 2, and cha-cha-cha. And again, it's an out and back step. So 1, 2, and cha-cha. So it's out, back, cha-cha, out, back, cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. Again, keeping that style going when you're actually doing your steps. So we'll come to the music part in a minute. So we'll do that to music when I put a few of these together. Next step we're going to look at is the open. So the open is quite a classic cha-cha-cha step. So we step out, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. So as you can see, I'm stepping to my right with my left foot, 1, 2, and once again we're driving across. So what you don't want is 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. So you drive with this leg across, so it's out and drive, cha-cha-cha. And that drive is that leg comes in, that leg into the step. So here is what we're doing, I actually drive to the side. And then out, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. So if we just look at that again, so we'll do a basic, 2, and cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, cha-cha. So we do an open, 2, cha-cha-cha, we step, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, and 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. This again is where the girls and chaps, if they want to, can actually use their arms. So out into the step, 2, and cha-cha-cha, and to the step, 2, and cha-cha-cha. So push. So you use that body into the step. So take it from your chest and push the arms out, as opposed to just send them out. I don't know, right, does it? So Now we need to come out of that step, so it's not easy to come out of that. We have to actually create a turn to get back to basic. So if I just show you that again, so 1, 2 and cha-cha. So we do the open, so 1, 2 and cha-cha-cha and 1. And to come out of that step, cha-cha-cha, we're simply going to do a right turn out here, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and then step back onto our right foot. And that makes it easier then for us to go back into that step. As you can see, if you're going cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, and then 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, it's not so easy to actually go back. It's much smoother to actually do a right turn to go back into basics. So let's just look at that again. So we're going to step 1, 2 and cha-cha-cha, or 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. We come out, 2, cha-cha-cha, and back into basics. Cha-cha-cha and 1. I'll show you that from behind, doing the basic. 1, 2 and cha-cha-cha. So we'll go 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. We'll do a turn, 2 and cha-cha-cha, then basic, 2, cha-cha-cha and 1. And again, that makes it much easier to do with the step. So moving on to our next step, what this is called is the hook step. Now we're going to do the hook step from the actual open. So if we're doing the open, basic, 2, cha-cha-cha, we'll do the open, 1, 2, cha-cha. How the hook step looks like is we bring our foot together, we go cha-cha-cha, 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 cha-cha-cha. Now lots of people think this is similar to the open of salsa. So for instance, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. But it's actually not that step. What we're doing is we're stepping cha-cha step, cha-cha step, cha-cha step, cha-cha step. So what you're doing is you're stepping on the spot, cha-cha. So you're not moving anywhere from that point, so we're not going cha-cha step out like this. So we're stepping on the spot, cha-cha, and then you drive out, cha. And then you do it again, cha-cha, and drive out, cha. Cha-cha-cha, 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 and cha-cha-cha. So you see that? So again, so if I show you from that open step, so we're stepping 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha, stop. So then we hook it, so we're back, cha-cha, out, cha-cha, out, cha-cha, out, cha-cha, out, and then go back into the open, 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. So as again, I'll show you from that behind. So we do the open this way. So 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, hook step, hook, hook, and then 1, 2, and cha-cha-cha. Right, so I'm just going to show you those two to music. So, wait a sec. So we do the walk around first. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. So we do right to left, right, left. And again, right, left. To the open, 1, across, 1, cross, 1. Cross, 1, cross, then we do the hook step, 1, cross, stop, hook and step, hook and step, hook and step, hook and step, 1, 1. Then we come out of this step by going right and back to basics. So I show it from behind, so we go, 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha, right and left, so right, turn left, music come on again, 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, then we do the open, 1, 2, cha-cha, 1, 2, for a hook, cha-cha hook, cha-cha hook, cha-cha hook, cha-cha hook, open, then the right turn, so basic. Okay, and that's those two.